Well, I absolutely loved you in Doula. I thought it was the perfect comedic vehicle for you, for everyone who actually started this. How did you get involved with Doula?
It's made and produced and acted in and starred in by my best friends. Yeah, I have been best friends with Cheryl Nichols, the director, and her partner Aaron Shiver and Will Greenberg, who played Sasha. Um, and then it was produced by Ian Gottler and Chris Pine. All of them are like my best friends. So when they said we want to make this, I was like, hell yeah, you should make Doula. I've loved that script. I've always loved that script. And they were like, cool, will you play Deb? And I was like, yes. Yes, please.
What kind of backstory were you given about Deb and Silvio's relationship?
Wow. Like Deb says in the film that it's Wax City. They were together for 3 weeks. That was actually a part of the rehearsal process. It was really cool. Aaron Shiver, who plays Silvio, my partner in the film, also wrote it. And before we shot the film, we actually got to do 3 weeks of rehearsals, just like sitting in Cheryl and Aaron's backyard, kind of going over the script and talking to each other. And finally, I was like, hey, Aaron, how are these two people together? Where did they meet? Why did they meet? What is happening here? And Cheryl was just like, yeah, I'm going to go in the kitchen and make a drink. You guys like make a whole backstory together. So we sat outside. And it was actually really funny because that was also a whole conversation where we talked about our backstory, but I also like leaned in and I was like, when are you proposing to Cheryl Nichols, Aaron Shiver? So anyways,
Secret friend business at the same time.
Secret friend business. But the whole reason was because, so much of Aaron is in this script. And so much of Aaron and Cheryl's relationship is in this script. And so to understand the dynamics of Deb and Silvio, not only do we get to have a really fun time creating a backstory, but I was also trying to understand like who Deb was as a woman and who Silvio is as a man and how they work together as a couple.
Well, I think that Sasha fits in perfectly in their dynamic.
Yeah.
In fact, I wasn't even sure if there was maybe like a little bit of romantic chemistry between Sasha and Deb. Did you and Aaron talk about that as well?
Yeah. So I think that was always something that was supposed to, we kind of wanted that over the course of the film. We wanted you to question, like, are Silvio and Deb supposed to even be together? Like, is actually this film kind of about these two people meeting, about Sasha and Deb? I think pregnancy is obviously a really, really complicated time. And I think that a lot of what people expect when they see a narrative, when they see a narrative, or when we talk about two people who are having a baby together, when having the baby together, we're just often like, oh yeah, they're in love and like they're gonna be parents. And I think what was so interesting to me about Doula was that it was kind of a question of, these people are having a baby together, but does that mean that they are right for each other? Does that mean that they are together? Who is this person? And also the complications of a character like Sasha, the doula, who loves pregnant women and like starts to fall kind of, I think he does kind of fall in love with Deb, and I think Deb does kind of fall in love with Sasha, and that is such an important part of the pregnancy and helping Deb get to where she inevitably needs to be to become a mom.
Some of my favorite moments from filming were the yoga scenes, even when you guys are on the way to the hospital in this like Uber. What were some of your favorite scenes to film? And also, I know it's so hard probably to keep a straight face with Will, this great comedic actor. So it might be
so hard.
Maybe some of those memorable scenes are ones where you couldn't keep it together.
We truly couldn't. Like, you can see so many moments when he's just like just breaking me. And like one of the best scenes was actually, there's this really, really small scene where Silvio's out jogging and he comes back and like, me and Will are dancing and we're just kind of like playing with each other. And it was so much fun because Cheryl just basically like put the camera up on the window and just like didn't say anything and just let Will and I like fake fight with each other and then dance with each other. And then I think at some point we pretended that we were like at Lilith Fair. We were just having like the best time. And then it ended up being in the movie. So, you know, so many scenes were really, really fun to film. One of the other great scenes was the ultrasound scene, because I was actually
Chris
pregnant.
Pine is like super.
He was so funny. And so Chris is a dear, dear friend of mine. And I was actually pregnant at that point in the filming. I was actually 8 months pregnant. So that was just my baby inside of my belly. And the funny thing was, Chris was terrified he was going to hurt my baby with the ultrasound wand. And I was like, trust me, I get them all the time. Go ahead. And the funniest thing, oh, I'm getting a visit by my dog. One of the funniest things was my daughter started to move away from the ultrasound one. So actually Chris was having the hardest time keeping a straight face and acting. Well, and just acting like a doctor, because it was like he would touch my belly and she would be like, blah, 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 and he was like, oh God, no. Yeah, it moved. And I was like, it's gonna move. It's a baby in there. And he was like, I have to be cool about this. I'm playing a doctor. So that was one of the funniest scenes.
That was a good one. And he's like, yeah, he's definitely got a penis. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, it's a daughter in there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of perfect.
What do you think it is about Doula that's just going to make it such a fan favorite comedy? I mean, I would insert rom-com, but
No, you totally can.
I just think it's such a beautiful comedic film.
Thank you. I so appreciate that. I'm God, as somebody who did not feel, I've said this before, but like the goddess of fertility when she was pregnant. I think it's going to be such a fan favorite because I think it represents something that we don't usually see depicted, which is a normal pregnancy, dare I say, you know, like just what it feels like to be pregnant. And when you're not like in some sort of glowing, like I'm floating through the air maternity shoot. And you're going through these questions about your identity and you're wondering who the hell you're about to enter into parenting with. and you know, everything about you as a birther, as a human being, as a woman is in question and in crisis, frankly. Like it's a crisis. You know, they talk about like birth, death, moving. This is a crisis. And I think that what's so great about Doula is that it approaches this crisis with which a lot of people encounter in their life with such heart and with such empathy and with such like humor, and just lets it be what it is, and gives it the time and the space to sort of find itself. I just don't feel like a lot of films do that. So I hope that people enjoy it as much as we enjoyed filming it. That really is all you can hope for, because we had a blast making it. And I'm so grateful that you enjoyed it. And I hope that people find their way to it and they have a ball.